Hi, it's George Nordhaus, and it's Monday morning, and welcome. Monday morning, well, I think, and I hope you do too, is an increasingly valuable agency marketing and management tool, and it's only just begun. Would you believe that? So I'm going to bring you up to date with what's going on now and what's going to happen in the near future so you can be prepared for it and hopefully take advantage of this big educational effort. So, we started this back in 13, and have come forward now. These were one of the first ones. You remember some of you have seen these, and some haven't, of course. It just keeps growing and growing, and we did a little numbers on it, and we realized that we're going to have 125 Monday mornings by December 31st of this year. Could you believe that? Boy, that's a big number, isn't it? In 2016, we're going to have 177 of them by the 31st of 2016. It's pretty amazing that it's coming along, but, like with everything else, there has to be some changes. And so we're going to be making those changes rapidly. But it's still the largest online library of recorded webinars for independent agents of America and pretty soon the world. But that's another another subject. The email on which we provide links to, well, my eye opener, the short, thing so you can hear it and see if you want to listen to it, or the full Monday morning, is going to look a bit different soon. Here's one from a couple of weeks ago. That's the top part of it. Here's the bottom part of it. The new look, it's not ready to show yet, but it's going to add a number of opportunities each week, probably down either side here, for you to access some of the top publications and the services in our industry. Why are we doing it? Well, because our Monday morning viewing audience continues to grow, and I like the idea of being the bearer of good tidings each week. So we'll be doing that for you, and you can look at it, get it, use it, not, whatever you want to do, okay? Monday morning is now going to over 10,000 a week. That's a pretty good amount, isn't it? And then we have a goal of 20 to 25,000. Two-thirds of the agencies in the U.S. We have a goal for that for certainly before the end of this year. And so we're adding them on as we can, and we want to get more and more as we can. Some people don't watch it. Some people don't order it. You know how the situation is, but we're going to keep getting better and better, and hopefully we'll reach just about everybody we want to reach, okay? Now, that number doesn't include people like organizations that send Monday morning to their agency members. Here, like the Renaissance Alliance, for example. This is what they call their radar every Monday, and here's the articles they had that Monday and so forth. And our webinar, they call it George's webinar. It's nice. It's down at the bottom every time, and then they have the links to it and everything. And so that's kind of nice, and that goes out to 500 every Monday morning. That's kind of nice, and we like that. Yeah, surprise. Monday morning is also sent to all PIAA and Big I Associations every week. Yeah, we've been doing that since we started. They have total permission to copy the Monday mornings and send to their membership free. But to my knowledge, none do. Isn't that amazing? I don't know why. Well, they said this. They said, well, that's too much of an advertisement, free advertisement. We'll charge you for advertising, and you can give us a... I said, listen, guys, how about this? Which is more important, a bit of free publicity for Agencies Online or bringing a continual flow of education to your members? Well, I can't do much about it, but I will tell you this, though. If you want to go to your PIAA or Big I Association executive and tell them they can get this every week, they can archive it, too, if they want. I mean, we'll put it on there. It doesn't cost anything. So if you want to do that, I would welcome it for the free publicity. No, I want to be seen, or we want to be seen, as bringing this continual flow of education. We're going to be changing that a little bit, and I'll show you in just a minute. Now, I have this idea, which is not too brilliant, I guess, but why don't you send me the email addresses of your staff? I don't need their names and all that kind of stuff, just the email addresses. And then there's no charge. We'll just be glad to add them. You say, well, yeah, it takes a lot of their time. Well, they can look at the short eye opener every time. It's 2-3 minutes, 2 minutes mostly, even less. Here's a typical one. What was that for? Successful financial services cross-marketing. And then they can click on there. They can look at it, and they say, oh, I'm not interested in that. Boom, they're gone. But if it isn't of interest, they're not going to watch it. And neither will you. That's okay. I mean, but that's why we do it that way. We know everybody isn't interested in everything. But people are saying to me, George, won't you run out of presenters? My God, 125, 177. Well, let me tell you some of them that we've got lined up right now, okay, just for the fun of it. We have Dr. Bill Holt, the head of the American Institute. I mean the Alliance, boy, CIC and all that sort of. Bill and I are going to talk next week about how this all happened and why they put it together and what's going on with it. That's good stuff. Claudia McLean, she's a personal lines agent of, independent agent of the year for Rough Notes last year, 2014. How do you like that? She's got a wonderful personal lines agency that's just fascinating. And we're going to hear more about that another week or two. Deborah Miller Phailin, she's the chairman and the creator of something you're going to hear a lot more about in the future called INA, Insurance Needs Analysis. And I won't tell you about it now, but you're going to hear about this whole program. But she's going to talk to us about gradation. Gradation means how are you grading? How are you measuring each of your customers? Do you do the same thing for the ones that are not making money for you as the ones that are, etc.? And she's got a wonderful formula for that you're going to see. Mike Denko has done a number of videos for various companies. He's doing a bunch of them for farmers, but he's got a really good way of doing videos, very inexpensive. If you want to use them, you can make them, you can personalize them and something. I just feel like bringing that to you because more and more people ought to be using them online, I think. That's what we all look at. I'm going to update Lloyd's of London. I could tell you a lot of stories about that. I was a member of Lloyd's, became one of the first 100 Americans to become a member of Lloyd's many years ago, and became the chairman of the West Coast and or Southern California and Arizona and New Mexico. But the point was, we all lost our cans in 1993. We all went down the tube, and they took all our money. And I'm going to do an update on that and figure out and show you what happened. Now, that doesn't say Lloyd's is a bad organization. It's not. It's very well run now, much, much better. But boy, did they take advantage of us. That's a story you'll like to hear. I hope you don't like to hear it, but you'll hear it. Craig Andrews is the head underwriter of State Auto, and he did a wonderful talk about Uber, the driving thing and that, how to insure it and how not to and all that. He is going to do some more for us. He's going to do one later, maybe in a couple of months from now, about relationships with underwriters. How do you like that? Relationships with underwriters. Nobody's done that for a long, long time. He's pretty good. He's an underwriter that speaks English. How do you like that? Well, I better not say that. Bruce Cochran, you've seen him a number of times on our program. He's the head of the Renaissance Alliance, which is the top in New England, the top aggregator. Bruce has so many things to talk about. I'm not even sure which one we'll do. If you are in an aggregator, or if you want to be one, you should go back to our list and see those. He has the absolute clue on what you should do or should not do with aggregators. And some people are not doing it very well. Take a look at some of those backrooms. Marlon Bollinger is at Bollinger Group down in Florida. He's his organization is the one that we're going to be doing a lot of life insurance training, showing you how to do, fulfill the entire customers' needs and so forth. And we've elected to choose Bollinger Group down there, Bollinger Group, and boy, he's totally verbal. I love him on that way. Another one we have is Rob Eckern. He's the risk management guy, and we've had him before 3 or 4 times. He is really strong on risk management points, cost of sale. What is really cost of the risk and all that, And he's a good trainer. He's going to be with us more often all the time. And I can go on and on because we have a lot of them. We'll bring some of them back. Sure, we want to do that. But let me suggest this: if you would like to suggest any topics or presenters, let me know. I'll get them. You know what? I don't get any turn downs. I mean, we may have 1 or 2, but not very much. My gosh, no. Oh, yeah, I said there was going to be some changes in Monday morning. Well, the biggest change in Monday morning, subject-wise, is this. We are going to be expanding, and you can see it already, from marketing only to everything. independent agent. Everything independent agent. Here's the home screen of the of Monday morning on AgenciesOnline.biz. Take a look at that. Yeah, and you should be going in there anyway. You will. You'll see why. There's the top of the screen. Incidentally, really neat video that was done for us by Brian Berlin at our people who do our programming. And boy, they've just done a wonderful job. And he's well, it's called Three Coasts, and they're New Orleans. If you need any tip anytime you want to program it, let me know, and I'll put you in touch with Brian. Boy, wait till you see that little video. It's only a minute or two. Anyhow, then you go down, and you see all of a sudden the categories. We've put everything in the categories. I don't know how many there are, 28 or something like that. But at any rate, the categories. Why have we done that? Well, we want you to be able to. Now it's still listed as the last one that we did and the last one we did, and those move on down. But these have everything by subject. Well, why would we? Well, it's a very simple situation. We want to have you be able to go in, or have you have this ability to send your staff in and let them find whatever they want. Maybe somebody in charge of, I don't know, could be claims handling. Send them there, and there you'll find the webinars, and they don't run out. I mean, they're pretty timely. If anything really gets old, we'll throw it away, but I haven't done yet. But there's some awfully good stuff in here for about everything in running your agency. Well, that's what I said before. Everything independent agents. Sample now. Okay, let's say you went in on the finances. There's one for finances back there. You could go in and find, let's see, I want to know about finances. Okay, Monday morning, understanding your agency. That's a good one. I know about that one. That's good. We'll do more about that. Contingencies. Hey, that sounds good. Let's click on that and see what happens. So they click on it, and all of a sudden, up comes the video, or the webinar, recorded webinar. This is Chris Moran. He's got a wonderful one on contingencies. He'll be doing more with us. He's quite a consultant. But that's really neat, because you can go to it, get out of it, get in it, see what you want to get, and get out of it. Okay? I like that. Okay? Here's another idea, incidentally, if you'd like. You have our permission. In fact, my encouragement to forward any of the Monday mornings to anybody. Your clients, I don't know, friends, other agents. It's okay with me. No cost. Send them on out. Be our guest. You can. Well, here's one. Like if you wanted disabled veterans, that's our endorsed charitable organization, Disabled Veterans Insurance Careers. That's really neat. If you haven't seen that, you should. Here's their home, DVIC it's called. If you want to see something really, really neat, get involved with that one, will you? But anyway, we had a program on it a few weeks ago, and it's there all the time. And it's always linked, incidentally, into our email. So you can always go to DVIC. I hope you will. We're certainly going to work with them. Well, getting down towards the end now, let me tell you something. Yeah, I got to admit, I got a couple of lovers who are helping me on this. I probably shouldn't say that out loud, but I do. Here's one, for example. This is Beauregard. Now, you'd call him Beau for short, like we do, but he's been only with us for a couple of weeks now with Sue and me. So he's still learning to type, but we're working on him. He's a golden doodle. I like a golden doodle. Isn't that wonderful? I got another one, too, you're going to like. This one is Gatsby. See Gatsby up there? That's Gatsby. Gatsby is a 1-year-old, huge Siamese, I don't know, 15, 17 pounds. Could you believe it? And he is a piece of work. But he loves nothing better to get on my keyboard and start going at it as fast as he can and messing me up. And I have to have a little talk with him. Well, one more serious point before we leave. I want to bring something to your attention. I've never done this before, but one of my very good friends and somebody who has meant so much to our industry died in February, and he was Jim Phailin. Jim Phailin is just, I can't say too many good things about him. I wanted to find out. I mean, I knew because I've been working with him for 40 years probably, but I wanted to find out more of the things that he was doing and had done for the industry. So I talked to David Rowe, who was former president of AMS at those days, now Vertifor. I said, David, do you have a list? He said, do I have a list? Let me show you something. He said, look at this. He built that Phailin agency in Ohio, Versailles, Ohio. He was the president of the Ohio PIAA, member of the national board, chairman of ACORD. Are you ready for this? President of the AMS users group. How do you like that? He led a lot of the SEMSI efforts. He built or helped build APT. He was convention manager, and all of a sudden the AMS convention became the industry's largest. He was the critical person, says David, and David was the president, so if anybody knows, he does, guiding the success. And over those years, David says outright there wouldn't be a Vertifor or a NetView or whatever it's called now without Jim. He said he was the winner of the Wade Dunbar Lifetime Achievement Award for contribution to the insurance industry. How do you like that? He was mentor of a lot of future agency leaders. He helped me. I know that. I don't know if I'm a leader or not, but he helped me. And he was so loyal and so fun in the process. And he was just the greatest of the AMS leaders. And you could count on him, says David, for the need, whatever the need was, and for everything. So all I would like to say is I wanted you to know his name. He's done a lot for all of us with all decades to come. Appreciate what Jim Phailin did for this industry. And I know one thing, we're going to miss him. Well, the last thing today is my favorite. I can't help but pass this along to you. You recognize that guy? Now, you could make an argument about this, but he was the #1 basketball coach at UCLA, I mean, in our history. And I could give you all the records, but you know all those. He was phenomenal. Well, we lived across the street from UCLA before I moved over to Santa Fe. And I used to go to games and see him. Of course, that was after he coached. But, I followed him for years. He was from Indiana. And all great basketball players are from Indiana. And so, or most of them, most of the really, really great ones. Anyhow, don't ask me where I'm from. Anyhow, all those years that I knew that, I followed him. And he just was amazing. But he said something that I want to share with you because it's become my mantra. And I continue to look at it, use it, and think about it, and think about him all this time. I want to leave it with you in hopes that it might be good for you, one of these things to learn. Here's what I learned from Johnny Wooden. No day can ever be perfect until you've done something for someone who can't do anything back for you. I hope you'll like the future of Monday morning. I think you will. In the meantime, I'll see you next Monday morning.